Hey, there's Bridget LeRoy. She's like Alfred Hitchcock, and he's in a movie, and he just has a baby cameo in it for a second.
Bridget.
For some reason, we cut that with, it wasn't as, I don't know.
Deliberate?
It wasn't deliberate.
Jackie Dumpy came in.
She's great. I love Jack.
Slipped $100 to the editors, and there you go.
There you go.
And that's why she's in the opening, and Bridget maybe.
Only $100.
The opening
you
of
gotta
what?
grease people.
The
in
opening of
Only
what?
known.
What is this?
Weekend Live,
Weekend Live.
Hampton's edition, for God's sakes, with Bill McCuddy and Patrick McLaughlin, and me,
The
Bridget
Hamptons
LeRoy,
edition, like
also known as Jackie Dunphy.
Where we allegedly talk about everything that's going on in the Hamptons this weekend, right here, right now.
I love that she said this is the Hamptons edition, like there's a Nantucket edition and an Aspen edition.
That's what it says in the front. It says Weekend Live. We think big. We think big. We dream tall.
This show.
I have to announce, I am now moving to Nantucket, and I'm going to be doing Weekend Live Nantucket.
And I'll be doing the Costa Rica edition.
You know who tried to do that? The guy that owned Nantucket Juices, which also
Plum
made
TV.
Yeah, that was Plum TV out here in the
Right.
Hamptons.
That used to have a big office on Pando.
They're gone, and we're still standing.
Yeah.
We're the nuclear cockroach that will not be stomped out.
We're scrappy.
We're the share of the Hamptons.
What's going on? You got the newspaper there. What's
Whoa,
happening?
East Hampton
Patrick?
Star. I mean, this is not fun Saturday morning kind of discussion, but there was a home invasion in the Springs. An elderly woman had her home broken into.
But she was also attacked.
Yeah, and she was attacked, and this is kind of scary. Things like this. I know we kind of live in a bubble out here, but
a wonderland.
You know, it just goes to show you never know, and always be on guard.
They haven't caught him yet.
They have not. There are pictures online if you want to go about that. I think they have a description or something.
Yeah, I saw
because he
that.
went to the Stop and Shop or whatever, One Stop Shop on
One Stop Market
on Springs Fireplace.
Yeah.
And they have some photos. So check it out online. Maybe if you know the person, you can help us find the culprit or the alleged culprit who did this.
You know what?
It's
a lot of the bad people are using social media. So if you go to dinner at Carbone, let's say in the city, and this has happened 3 times, and you show the dish and you show your watch, the next thing you know, when you're leaving, somebody on a moped comes by.
Oh, and takes your Rolex.
And takes your Rolex.
Oh,
so
I will tell you, when I go,
we haven't had that kind of thing happen in the Hamptons.
No.
Well, now
I will tell you there is that in the city. I've heard about that from a lot of people. But I will tell you another thing is if I go on a vacation, I don't post it on social media. First of all, my house is never empty. There's always someone there.
Tell me how to do that, because I post everything on social media.
No, I just wait till I get back and say, had a great trip.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's crazy.
Stop with the iguana cam, where you
stop.
have that in Costa Rica with the little animals running around with holding your camera.
Them so much.
I don't see enough iguanas.
You need an iguana cam.
Well, I tell you, I went to Galapagos once, and it was like, oh, here's another iguana. Oh, great, here's another iguana.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, great, here's another iguana.
You were
but it's a different kind of iguana.
So this weekend,
iguanas.
starting on Sunday, there's another horse, and there's another horse, and there's another horse.
Hampton Classic.
It's the Hampton Classic.
It's
this
a
is
classic.
Which
Mark
is
Badgley's artwork adorning.
And we are going to have
papers.
Marty Bowman on to talk about it. Who else do we have?
It feels like it's kind of like, you know, when the Hampton Classic rolls around, it's like, it's
End
a
of
wrap,
summer.
kids. It's
Yeah.
a wrap,
Yeah,
kids.
but this year, Labor Day is like a week early, I guess,
Yeah, it
because
is.
everything's happening. They'll tell you the
September
timetables because
2nd,
they
I
do it
think.
every year, obviously.
Yeah.
And I go every year, and it's a load of fun, and you see everybody, and sometimes they have some horses in a ring, and you sort of watch that too. It's like what I say about polo. I went to a party in the
It's
Hamptons,
rosé all day,
and
basically.
a polo game broke out.
Well, we
But-
used to have, our friend Lori Soroka used to do the llamas on Kids Day, and she would do like a llama parade, and it was like a
in
big
that
deal. And
little
her kid-
village that.
Yeah, and well, no, it was before that. It was just in one of the rings, and her kids and our kids were good friends, and Lori had done some work for me as like an assistant, and it was just really fun. And my sister has ridden there many times. My sister was
your wife
chairwoman.
rode in the Hampton
My
Classic.
wife Sue has ridden in it.
Yeah.
My daughter has ridden in it.
My sister was chairwoman of the national, what was it, the National Horse Convention or something? My sister.
We'll
Jenny.
learn it all in the next segment
Yes.
with our guest. I've learned the hard way that it is not an inexpensive hobby, as I was quoted in page 6 as saying, during my wife riding at the Classic, there's my wife riding my 401k. So
Marty Bowman from Hampton Classic will be here.
also, we are going to learn about what's been happening all summer long at one of our hosts, the Canoe place.
Sponsors.
Sponsors, not our
Sponsors
hosts.
and hosts.
Yeah, okay.
We go there and they host us.
They definitely have hosted
Actually,
us.
I stayed in an amazing boathouse.
Right, across the way. That's
Yes.
all going to be.
Very
Can't talk about that yet. We can't talk about all the famous people that go and stay there because then the famous people wouldn't go and stay there. No,
Right.
but it's been. There's some,
I know. There's
some
been some
jaw-dropping
actual-
names have been staying there because
Not
it's it's quiet, it's serene.
Let's see if we can pull some out.
But anyway, we have Molly Fargo who's here, who's
Molly's
going to
here.
talk about Danny Meyer, Union Square, what's
Right.
going on in the restaurant.
and what he's doing here in the Hamptons. Yes.
And
Yes,
next
and
weekend,
other stuff.
Labor Day weekend, and the reason we had her on a week early is because you got to start planning for Labor Day. We called this show Weekend Live about what's happening this weekend, but next weekend everybody is they're making plans. So Nina Compton, was on Top Chef, one of the finalists of Top
Right.
Chef, and has a very successful restaurant down in New Orleans, is coming up to on Labor Day for a lobster
Hampton
boil. Cajun style, and also there's music. She'll tell us all
Just
about
to
it.
make
So-
sure, I mean, you guys are going to do that, but please ask if there'll be food other than, I'm not a lobster eater. I don't
There's
dislike
clams.
lobster. I can't eat
Yeah,
clams.
I'm
There's
sure they
crab.
have for
Okay, keep going.
odd people like yourself. They'll
He's
have
not coming.
house.
Molly,
There
don't
was
save
a
a
burgers
place
or
for him.
something.
Don't save a spot for
turkey
Patrick
burger.
McLaughlin.
Turkey
And
burger.
then
Also,
we have
Channing Tatum joins us a little later, kind of. He's got a
Along
new
with
movie
Joy
out.
Behar. Oh, wait, no,
No.
she has to do her
He's got
cameo.
Blink
She's not coming
Twice.
today.
He's got a new movie called Blink Twice. We're going to talk about Joy
Yes.
Behar in a minute. His movie Blink Twice is going
He's
to make
like
about $10 million this weekend.
He's playing like a billion. What is it?
It's
a
playing in
billionaire
SAG,
who-
and he's a billionaire who has
It's
an
like
island.
Fantasy Island. Yeah.
Yeah, or Jeffrey
Right?
Epstein, but
It's a little
probably not
it's a little
like
creepier
that.
Oh my
than
God.
that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no.
It's
It's-
creepy.
Yeah,
Fantasy
Mr.
Island.
Rourke and Tattoo didn't do.
Right.
And he had a big movie that kind of tanked, so he's looking for this to be a big hit.
Oh.
Not tanked, but Fly Me to the Moon,
Yeah,
Which was
that's
great.
which is
It's
really
on
a good film.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Rent
I think
it. It's
Eric
a
and I
fun
would
movie.
really love that.
It's on right now. I've got a list of things you can watch on a rainy day out here in the Hamptons because you would be mind blown by how quickly things go from
What
the
if I
theater.
just want to be blown?
No, okay. We're live and we prove it every day.
Yes,
Are the
we
guests
do.
still here? Oh,
No,
they all just
They
left.
ran
All
away
right.
screaming.
You meant like
Okay,
oh.
I'm going to recover
totally.
from that in a
Of course I
minute.
did.
No,
I
she
did.
meant
Public
like a
access.
Mr. LeRoy back there is blushing.
Anyway, so what else? What is everybody doing this weekend?
Well, you have some big plans tonight.
and I'm
We're
gonna
here on
see
a
you there.
Friday.
Oh yeah, Patrick and I are both going with our. Oh no, because Peter's down.
Okay, Peter's in,
Okay, so
in
he
Colorado
doesn't have
doing a
his-
diabetes
Where was I
conference.
left out this
no,
time?
you're not. But listen, so Eric and
I bet Tom Kelly's going.
Listen, we're going to go to the Talk House to see Hank Azaria,
Oh.
who everybody knows from Huff and Brockmire, and of course every voice on The Simpsons just
Right.
about. And he's an incredible actor, and this is really interesting. So what happened? There he is. What happened was for his
Yeah,
birthday.
everyone on the set is talking about it.
Yeah.
apparently.
Hey,
Hey, quiet over there in the green room,
One
please.
conversation at a
what
time.
happened
Little
was
show over here. Okay.
for
thank you.
his 60th birthday in April, he got up on stage in front of all of his friends, and he, did a Bruce Springsteen song, and they were all like, "You have to take this on the road."
You know, he kind of looks like. I never thought of it, but
And
in
so-
that picture, he kind of looks like.
so
him.
he put together a band.
Oh, he's right behind us.
And
There you go.
this is Friday night, we're going to be seeing Hank Azaria and the Easy Street Band, and
By the
it's
way-
a Bruce Springsteen tribute band.
Do you remember he did our show back in the day? Hank
Yeah,
Azaria?
sure.
He
I've
did when he was
interviewed
doing
him many
Godzilla.
times. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, he
Yeah, he
a
did
lot.
Godzilla with Matthew Broderick and
Well,
other
I still-
Hamptons.
listen,
I wonder
He
if
was
he'll be there
still
tonight.
married to Helen Hunt, and then, by the way, he has a
Right.
great part, a smallish part in one of my absolute favorite movies called Heat, made in 1995 by Michael Mann. It's a
I
heist
did that
movie
junket.
with.
You
Yeah, you
did?
did.
You didn't do
That's
that
right.
one.
Well, you know what we love? We love him in the Birdcage as kind of the housemaid who's
I
never
find that
wearing
movie
any
really
clothes.
offensive.
Something Avigdor or something like
Yes,
that.
Avador, that was his name. And still, whenever we hear she works hard for the money, we're like, because he's singing it in the kitchen while he cleans. But he's amazing. And
He's a good-
did have a chance to work
Good
with
actor,
Nathan
great
and
actor. I
Mike
forgot he
Nichols.
was he married to Helen Hunt or were
Yeah.
they just a couple?
No,
they were
he was
married.
No,
married
they
for a
were
while.
married.
Yeah. But anyway, what got me was I was listening to NPR, hearing him talk about this.
You're the one.
And yes, shut up. And I'm telling you, I got so upset at the end. All my buttons were pushed because Scott Simon from NPR said, "Oh, and I just knew this was coming." He's talking about all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, and you're going to be in." And I was like, "Say it." And he was like, I can't pronounce. I can't pronounce this word. I was like, Amagansett.
Try saying that, Pete.
And
I had no idea
then-
what you were talking about.
No, and then hey, Gazaria goes, yes, we'll be playing at Stevens Talk House.
Okay, well, everyone makes the Stevens mistake.
I
Go
said
ahead.
that. I
Go
said
ahead and
that.
explain
Okay,
it. It's
so
like
his name-
Johns Hopkins is always John Hopkins.
No, it's not. It's
And like
John's-
Ronkonkoma is often Ronkonkoma.
only on the
Did that
GPS
never
because
happen.
she's an idiot. But listen, it is not.
Gotta rehearse more.
You want to sound like you're from here. You do not say Stevens Talk House. It is the Stephen Talk House. It is
Right.
named after a man named Stephen Talk House. He was an indigenous person. That obviously wasn't.
Did he live in the Springs?
Yeah, it wasn't his. That was, I guess.
No,
his
that's the other
given
thing.
name.
Everyone's like, it's not the Springs.
I
it's
know.
Springs.
I
That's
get
like
it,
in
but
LA.
I'm telling a story.
I
You have
like
an
in LA,
attitude
I'm on
today,
10
Miss
and they
Roy.
go, it's the 10.
It's the 10. Oh, shut up. But no, but.
You have an attitude
I
today.
know, I'm taking. I got my cojones out today. I ate a lot of sugar before.
Are
we
you
got on
blowing
the air.
them? Okay.
Oh, God. By the way, we should. What's the weather?
now.
Like, by the way, I think we got to move it along because Jody.
No,
I'm just saying-
we don't have a floor director, but
That's
we have
right, we don't
plenty of
have
time.
Jody
We're
doing
going to
this.
talk about but finish it.
No, I was just going to say, it's Stephen Talkhouse, and he was known for walking from Bridgehampton to Montauk every day to deliver like vocal mail and things like that.
Oh,
to
that's
which my
cool.
husband said this morning,
I did not know that.
maybe he should have been called Stephen Walkhouse.
Ah.
So, but he wasn't. It was the Talkhouse. So Stephen Talkhouse, and that's the picture that's up on the screen there. That is
There you
the
go. There
man,
he is. The
Stephen
man.
Talkhouse.
In a moment,
Now you know.
when we come back, we are going to learn all about the Hampton Classic with a special guest,
You're
Marty
a
Bowman.
special, Marty.
Marty.
Marty's special.
We didn't even say
And
that we were
apparently
gonna
your
have real
husband,
estate.
apparently your
We're gonna have a
husband
real
is
estate
joining that.
roundtable with Melissa
We're talking
Cohn.
real estate.
And-
We're also
Oh,
going to
big
Canoe.
mortgage news this week, by the way.
Okay, save it
Good.
for that.
And
That's
Dawn
called a
Watson
tease.
of
And
Serhant
Dawn
is
Watson.
going to be one of your guests. And
Oh
this
yeah,
is all
Serhant. I
yours.
want to know all
Ryan.
about Ryan.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've
In the
met Ryan
meantime,
before.
what kind of a weather weekend is it going to be? I think it's good. Take a look.
Let's go, Bridge.
Oh wait.
This forecast is brought to you by sponsors like Canoe Place Inn and Cottages in Hampton Bays. Fine hospitality since 1697. More at canoeplace.com. And by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and the Elliman Insider with all the latest trends. More at elliman.com. And by the real estate financial expertise of the Melissa Cohn Group and William Raveis Mortgage. Let our family bring yours home. More at raveis.com. And by the James Lane Post, covering arts, culture, and lifestyles on the East End. More at jameslaneboast.com.
Hi, Melissa.
Okay, here we are.
Marty, Melissa's here.
I haven't seen you for a while.
Here we are.
We're actually on
Oh.
air right now, so hey, hi
Everyone's saying
everybody,
hello
we're
in the
back.
studio to everyone.
Yeah, we are. We're very, very friendly here at, what are we on? Oh yeah, Weekend Live.
Weekend
Yeah.
Live.
Are we still
It's-
in the Hamptons?
We're still in the Hamptons, but not in the Springs, and we're not going to. What did you say about Stephen
The Stevens.
The Stephen Talk.
Stevens Talk House. And it's not Hampton's Classic, it's the Hampton Classic.
So joining us here from the Hamptons Classic.
no, Hampton,
no.
no F.
Yeah, is Marty Bowman.
Yay,
And Marty, you're communications director for the Hampton Classic.
That is correct.
Yes.
And you guys are a riot. I just got to tell you, I can't stop laughing with you too.
Sorry.
I'm taking a
Our
subscription
control
to
room
this
is
show.
crying because they like they don't want to be
Don't
associated
encourage
with
you.
this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Don't make
they're
eye
depressed.
contact. Don't show your teeth. That's what I was told when I was meeting monkeys at a sanctuary. They're like, don't show them your teeth. I was like, why would I do that? Like, well, if you smile, they'll attack. 'cause
I
that's
never
a-
heard that.
I didn't know
don't
that
ever,
either.
Don't ever let monkeys see your teeth.
So can we go from monkeys to horses?
Yes, let's do that.
Good segue.
He's a professional.
I'm a genius.
He's a
There you go.
professional. So, yeah.
Go ahead. So it's that time of year.
It is the biggest, best equestrian event in the world, bar none. So
How many years now?
this is the 49th, which means next year, big time
Gonna be
celebration.
big next year.
Big celebration.
Celebrate. Oh, we can't
No,
we can't sing.
No,
Oh, you're
don't.
good.
Well, you-
This is
let's-
our 49th annual Hampton Classic.
49th.
And, when you say horses, you say equestrian. There's lots of different horse sports, lots of different equestrian sports. We're hunter jumpers, which is show jumping, which is an Olympic sport. And we have the best horses and riders in the world. In fact, we have 8 riders who are just back from Paris, where they're at the Paris Olympics, and they'll be riding here this week. We open this Sunday, the day after tomorrow, which means I have a lot of work ahead of me when
Yeah.
I leave here.
sure do.
We start, Sunday is the 25th. We go 8 days and we culminate, as always, on Sunday of Labor Day weekend,
Grand
Sunday the
Prix,
1st. That is the biggie.
Yeah.
Hunt breakfast is this Sunday. That's the opening day,
25th.
correct?
Opening day, right. In a lot of ways, it's local day, with the exception of one big class where we feature our Grand Prix riders. All the other classes are for Long Islanders only. Either the rider lives on Long Island or the horse is stabled most of the year on Long Island. So it's a chance to give all these Long Island horses and riders a chance to compete at the Hampton Classic. We start 8 a.m. daily. We go to, roughly 5-ish each afternoon. Competition in 6 rings, simultaneous all day, every day. Wherever you go, wherever you look, you're going to see outstanding horses. And like I said, we have the best horses and riders from around the world.
Can I ask a question?
I was going to ask a silly
You
question.
have to
but go
stop
first.
me to
You go
ask
first.
I just wanted to ask about Kids Day, because I like to see like the little miniature horses and the petting zoo.
So we have kids' activities all week. We have a kids' tent where there's all this, but the big day for kids is next Saturday, August 31st.
Open bar for the kids, right?
Sure.
For their
Bill
parents.
just rolled his
maybe.
eyes, I'm sorry.
They get free pony rides, they get free gifts, and there's all sorts of things going on. You
So just
mentioned
the-
llamas before,
The
and
pony rides, is there a size cutoff? Said the 5 foot
I think there's an
tall?
age
Oh,
cutoff.
that's-
But wait, you might pass. It's up to 12. Are you okay?
I love you.
You
Mike.
act under 12. I'll
Somewhere-
tell you
I
that.
certainly do.
All right, now I'm
Thank
going to
you.
go back to
Go
ask a question as you were talking about horses that were in Paris.
Yeah.
How do they get back here? Like, I know they don't swim. I
No,
mean,
they fly. Horses fly regularly.
Right.
In this day and age, to go back and forth to Europe or anywhere in the world, it's kind of commonplace for the horses. And people ask me, how do horses take to flying? And I say, like people, some of them, the first time, no problem at all. Some a little apprehensive at first, and they get used to it. And some take a little sedative to deal with the long flights.
And how do they get along with the Hamptons horses? Do the Hamptons horses have more attitude than the horses from, say,
That's
Nebraska or
hilarious.
Indiana?
All of the horses at the Hampton Classic, just like everyone who comes, is so excited to be there that you love everybody. It's just such a great experience. And I was talking about all the horse competition, and it is the highest level of competition in the world. But there's so much to do, and you alluded to it with the Kids' Day.
Drink rosé.
Besides, you can drink rosé.
There's also the
Wolfer
amazing
Estates is
shopping
one of our big
experience.
sponsors.
Great shopping. Who's one of the big sponsors again?
Wolfer Estates.
One more time?
Can I say that? Are they a sponsor here?
No, but we're hoping to get them for next
Okay,
year.
well,
Wolfer Estates.
But you
we'll
know
let them
what?
know, but they are one of our big sponsors.
It's also a really fun shopping
It's a fun
experience
shopping
there.
We have over
Yes.
70 shops and boutiques in our Anyetta Curry Boutique Garden. So you can come, you can go to the kids' activities, pet the llamas and the kids and
Right.
play games.
pet
and-
the kids?
Well, goats' kids.
Right, the
You
kids
guys
go-
are gonna get me in such trouble, I'm telling
we
you.
are. No, but you can literally like
can pet Bridget.
not watch a single
You don't have to watch a
show.
horse, and you can have a great
Yes,
time.
I
Yes,
agree.
there is drinking, there's great eating, there is great
And
shopping.
celebrity sighting too at the
So
Hampton
much.
Classic.
Everywhere you look, you never know. You could be in line to, in your case, order a rosé. In other cases, to order, I like the ahi tuna sandwiches they have.
The
So
food's,
good.
the food's actually great at the Hampton
Yeah.
Classic. If you ever
Really,
been.
really
Can I
good.
ask a question?
Wait, I was,
Wait,
okay, go
I'm
ahead.
No, I know, it's kind of related to all of this. Now, I'm thinking of post-pandemic. Have you kind of picked up to the numbers that you had before that? And what sort of numbers do you get in terms of guests?
So last year was our first real year back. 2020, obviously, we didn't host it.
Right.
2021, it was a down year. And 22, we were most of the way back. Last year, fully back in every regard. It's really no longer an issue, other than that people should always be
And
careful,
what
of
sort of
course.
numbers do you have over
We
the
get
course of the
between
week?
50 and 60,000 over the course of the week. The big day, of course, is the final day, Grand Prix Sunday, the first. It's the culmination. We have between 12 and 15,000 people, and that's the only day we charge to sit in the grandstands. Otherwise, it's $20 a car load to get in,
Right.
however many people you pack in the car.
They hide people in the trunk like we used to do for the drive-in movies
You can
back in the
you can
day.
do it legally. Do it legally. $20 for the car. Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, Monday is free for everybody because it's a limited schedule.
Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is free for seniors, free for military, and anyone who brings 3 non-perishable items for Sag Harbor Food Pantry,
Oh, lovely.
they get in for free. They're one of the many charities that we support through the
That's
Hampton
So if you want to
Classic.
buy tickets for, say, Saturday or Sunday, are they still available?
Yeah, well, for Saturday, you just do it at the gate. The only day that, and then you can sit in the grandstands all week except Grand Prix Sunday, September 1st. Then you have to buy your ticket online in advance.
We have your website, we'll bring it up.
HamptonClassic.com, real easy one, real easy one.
Yay. That's great.
Oh, up on the screen, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
We're as surprised as you are.
When it works, we're so excited.
But we do recommend you buy your tickets early. We always sell out. And come early. I beg everyone, get there early because the lines get really long. They like to come because that is the main event, the biggest event. Winning that Hampton Classic Grand Prix is the biggest event you can win in this country for these competitors. So there's a real atmosphere. You know, if you like intense sporting events, you get it on that Grand Prix Sunday. But I should point out the best riders, they ride all week long. You can see these Olympic stars all week long, and you can see the celebrities all week long, but on the closing day, that's when they really all
Okay,
come
who
out.
was the biggest celebrity ever you saw at the Hampton Classic? I'll tell you mine, Bruce Springsteen. That was pretty
saw
cool.
him?
I was going to
Bruce
say
was there.
Patrick McLaughlin,
Oh
actually.
yeah, but
What a brown nose.
Oh, the
my
control room just
goodness.
barfed. I heard that, guys.
No, but Bruce Springsteen, J-Lo, there's been so many, you know, Jimmy Fallon's been.
Sofia Vergara, I saw there one year.
Yep, yeah, she's been there. I mean, we get a lot, you know, our regulars, Brooke Shields, Mariska Haggerty.
You know, I just remember the days when like Tony Hitchcock would be standing at the gate, like almost greeting everybody as they walked
I
in.
saw Tony yesterday.
Oh, good.
He's still doing great. We miss him at the Classic, but of course his successor, Jeanette Cohen, she's been running it now since about 2007,
Yeah.
I
And
believe.
thank you,
long time.
Jeanette, for having you come by today because she was the one who.
Yeah, when I leave, you'll probably call her and say, "Why'd you send that guy
Oh,
over?"
It's great. Are you
This is
kidding? We
great
love
stuff.
it when people like hold us to task. We like you. You're gonna be on a lot more.
Well, I laugh a lot when I'm with you too, I'll
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you.
Well, Marty, go ahead.
No, I don't know. Bill's holding up something, but I don't
Just
know
tell
what
us,
it is.
Bill, we have no floor director.
I won't stop, so you're gonna have to stop me.
read.
Are we supposed to go to a movie trailer?
Let me
Oh,
just see
wait.
what it says.
So this is gonna be really exciting.
It
This
is the
Oh.
best. If
Yes.
you've never come, I promise you, if you come, you will have a great time. If you don't know horse sports, still come. It's easy to understand. The idea is get over the fences without knocking any rails down. You get over, it's good. You knock some down, it's bad. It's fun, it's exciting. It's just a pleasure to be there. If you come, I promise you, you will enjoy.
Marty Bowman, Hampton Classic. Thank you so much for coming on. and
Hampton
talking.
Classic, not Hampton's Classic,
Right.
HamptonClassic.org. So Bill
Tell
Henry,
Jenny hello for me.
I will. My sister Jenny is a horsewoman with a farm and a lot
so
of
Bill
horses,
handed me this
so.
note.
It says, we're gonna look. We were talking about Channing Tatum's new movie. We're gonna look and have a little behind the scenes glance at Blink.
It's like Fantasy Island meets Jeffrey Epstein,
Yes,
apparently.
I
That's
like
what they
that.
say. Let's take a look
Let's
at
take a
Blink.
look
Oh
at
my
this.
gosh.
I'm gonna go to the island for a few days. When we were starting to think about where we were gonna shoot this, Zoe had a really specific idea of what Slater's compound should look like.
I really wanted to create an environment that I personally wanted to be at. Good conversation and good food and dancing.
We wanted it to feel like it had history, that it wasn't just this cold, expensive place. You having a good time?
We were in the Yucatan for 3 months, and we stayed in the hotel that we were filming in.
Hello there. Yucatan is such a beautiful, picturesque place.
There's incredible food, and the people are amazing.
I've never experienced making a movie like this before. It felt like a summer camp vibe.
But then in the film, the whole hotel had this dark energy.
The reality that you're in this jungle in the middle of nowhere really adds to the thriller, horror atmosphere. And I think it really elevated the film.
Directed by Zoe Kravitz.
Yes, so that's
awesome.
one of the headlines, Zoe Kravitz. Also, it's really kind of like, you were saying as we were watching it, kind of a Jordan Peele, kind of a Get Out
Yeah.
kind of a vibe.
Well, the woman
And-
who played the housekeeper there, who they like did the lobotomy on,
Right.
she was in that.
Yeah.
Don't give away
So-
the ending of the other
So
movie.
hold
No,
on,
that
Kyle
was the-
McLaughlin is in it.
Oh, yeah,
So
from the
he's
Hampton-
a
well, his
Hamptons
house out
guy,
there. Yeah.
and lots of other folks.
Okay,
So
great.
go see that. It's at the Sag Harbor Theater and also at Regal.
Oh, you
East
know what?
Hampton.
Before we even go to Molly, I want to add that tonight, Friday, at the Sag Harbor Cinema is the premiere of the Blake Edwards documentary. What is it called? Blake
Love in
Edwards?
24
Love
seconds,
in
I think, or Love at 24 seconds.
Yeah, so that's a really great thing. And Julie Andrews and Emma Walton Hamilton will be there answering questions. So that sounds like a really great
Yeah,
thing.
he was a great director. We can talk a
was a
little
good
bit about
director.
that maybe. In the meantime,
In the meantime,
what a booking coup. We've got the director of operations. Should we? Okay.
yes, Molly Fargo.
Molly Fargo from one of our favorite places.
Yeah, Canoe Place. We go all the time. So welcome.
Thank you.
And you're going to tell us about some of the changes that are going on, right?
Yes, most definitely. We're super excited to announce that Union Square Events, a Danny Meyer concept, has been named the premier food and beverage partner at Canoe Place Inn and Cottages. We'll be combining the laid-back luxury of the island with culinary excellence. We do still have our same chef, Jared Huth.
Right, the Danny Meyer is more of an overseer now.
Correct,
Or sort of like
yes.
an executive chef.
Yep,
Right.
yeah, coming in to manage the operation, bring some hospitality excellence to both the front and the back of the house.
And what a summer you've had.
We
I mean,
have
I
had
don't
a
mean to
great
gush
summer.
because you're
Well,
one
I was
of
there.
our.
I went to see Jeff Goldblum. We've been
Right,
there
we've been
together
to
Yeah.
with our
Goldblum,
mutual mates.
There are all kinds of
So many.
Stella
Certainly,
Cole, and
yes.
lots
Yeah.
of different
Stella Cole,
music.
that's right.
Yeah, some great folks have taken the stage. Mark Norman, Jeff Goldblum, Stella Cole. We've welcomed many celebrities as well. Won't name them, but it
Yeah.
is a trend of Canoe Place, that's been welcoming celebrities since 1697.
Well, you know what's really cute? My husband, I mean, I've told the story like ad nauseam.
Was there in 1697. so-
His grandfather worked on it in the early 1900s to
Yeah.
do all the
Yeah, there was a
the
fire.
renovations.
There
Yeah,
was
the
in
restoration.
1921. and
Right, and his
Just two
grandfather.
chimneys remained, and they're actually still in the building. So if you've been in the study
Yeah.
or select guest rooms, all original
and
brick.
Eric's
Yeah.
grandfather was the guy who I guess did the contracting on it back in the 20s.
Wow.
Be
Yeah.
careful in that study. I saw Colonel Mustard going in there with a rope and a candlestick. Anyway, it's a lovely, lovely facility. There's a spa, a very intimate, cool little spa.
Yes.
And you've had Purist Magazine there all summer long, on Sundays, giving yoga and doing all kinds of cool stuff.
And may I
So-
just say, James Lane Post has had a few events there
Yes,
as well.
you
so
did Anne Legory, I think. You
Yeah.
did a couple of things there.
yeah, we did. Well, we also
So
had our
authors
summer
go
party
there and do a thing called Front Row,
Correct.
and it's just second year, sophomore season.
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty
Only
crazy.
2 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
August 8th was our second anniversary.
Wow, that's
so yeah.
amazing.
It's been
So tell us a little bit about what the Danny Meyer concept is going to bring to Canoe Place that it didn't have already.
Of course. So it's going to bring a new level of hospitality management. Like I said, in both front and the back of the house, we have a couple of new additions to the menu and more to come as we enter into the fall season. We're really into the locally inspired cuisine, local products. We do try to work with as many local vendors as we possibly can on the island. We also have Chef's Garden, which was supported by ECI.
Chef's Garden?
Yes, so in the
What is that?
back of the property, we have a garden in which we grow our produce and fruits and vegetables, herbs that then go into our
Wait, in
food
the back
and
Bloody
beverage.
Marys.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, where is that?
Yeah, toward the northern side of the property on the
Okay.
grass area.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And
Yeah.
what do you grow? I mean, do you grow vegetables as
Yeah,
well?
vegetables, herbs, produce, everything that then gets put into our
didn't know that.
beverages,
Did you know
those
that?
flowers you see on the plate, the
Oh, wow.
lavender in the spritzes. Yeah, so
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's so
Organic.
great.
Now,
Yes.
organically for Labor Day weekend, you are
Yes.
welcoming chefs all year long now with the Danny
Yes.
Meyer connection. But coming up is one of the Top Chef finalists to do
Correct.
a lobster boil.
Right,
Tell us
Nina
about that.
Yeah, celebrity chef Nina Compton will join us on Labor Day weekend on Monday with a family-style lobster boil. It would be a 3-course menu: lobster, clams, crab salad, and our lovely pastry team will be preparing a summer tres leches to top it all off.
Oh, yum.
Yes, we'll also have.
Oh, look, we have her picture now, yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there she is. If you
Fantastic.
recognize her perhaps from Top Chef. I
Yeah.
mean, this
Food
is a
Network,
cool.
yeah.
Yes.
This is cool. She has a very, very popular restaurant in New Orleans.
Yep.
After she came out of Top Chef. And so
Certainly.
she's one of those alumni that have gone on to do something
Sure.
incredible. And she's coming up to you guys.
Certainly, and in addition to the special menu, we'll have Grammy-nominated artist Jeffrey Miller, Calvin Johnson, and the Sounds of Nola bringing the taste of New Orleans to the Hamptons.
Wow.
It'll be high energy, family friendly, so we're very much looking forward to the weekend.
I see food fight. I think that would be
Oh,
awesome.
what, people throwing lobsters across the room,
Delicious.
wah, coming at you with claws.
Only in the Hamptons. Incoming!
Oh boy.
No.
That's amazing. And now looking towards the fall, what are some of the
So the
events that are coming
programming
up?
will continue. Summer's not over. We will continue to program. More to come. Stay tuned on our events tab on the website, but we will continue our concert shows, bringing in these authors. Our Front Row series will continue. So we're very much looking forward going into the fall and into the cooler season.
Well, I would say this if it wasn't one of our sponsors, although there is that it really has turned Hampton Bays. People who live in Hampton Bays would say it was already on the map. but it really has become a destination.
It really
All
is
summer long,
amazing.
people have been talking more and more about getting into that. That's sold out.
Yeah.
This has, and so congratulations.
It's such a great spot, and
It
I'm
is.
just curious, as far as the restaurant goes, what are some of the more successful things that have been on the menu this summer?
Yeah, of course. So in talking about the new additions to the menu, we now have a seafood tower on the menu. We have our tile fish from Montauk, and then we also have a new pork chop addition. So those have been definitely very
They're
popular.
also serving breakfast, and they
We
do a
are.
whipped ricotta
Yes.
scrambled egg
Oh my
thing
gosh.
that is so amazing.
Yes.
I love the whipped ricotta anyway.
You had that?
No,
Oh,
the
they have the
honey and
whipped
whipped
ricotta as a starter.
is
Yes.
so good. But
We're gonna
can you
stop
just,
the show now and just go to Hampton Bays and get some
But
lunch.
can you just walk in off the street, or is that only for guests?
Yeah, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On the weekends, we have our Sunday brunch, and every Sunday we have our Summer Sunday series, which is a different
Our
performer.
showrunner Patrick is.
I'm not the showrunner. I'm
No,
just,
we're gonna
We
get to
don't
weather
have
in a
one.
second. Listen,
Yes.
I guess we do have to keep moving, but
Molly,
it's
Fargo.
live. And but thank you so much for
course.
coming.
Thank
New
you so
place
much for
in
having
Cottages.
me.
Thank you so much, and we just love that place. Love having it in the neighborhood, and keep doing the great work you're doing.
You'll see us Labor Day
So
weekend.
much. We'll see you there.
Unless she's in Costa Rica. Hey, it's gonna be a great weekend. I don't know about Labor Day weekend, but I know this weekend, beautiful weather. Take a look. Here's the latest for this weekend.
This forecast is brought to you by sponsors like Canoe Place Inn and Cottages in Hampton Bays. Fine hospitality since 1697. More at canoeplace.com. And by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and the Elliman Insider with all the latest trends. More at elliman.com. And by the real estate financial expertise of the Melissa Cohn Group and William Raveis Mortgage. Let our family bring yours home. More at raveis.com. And by the James Lane Post, covering arts, culture, and lifestyles on the East End. More at jameslanepost.com.
Nice long one. Long one.
I was gonna say, oh, we're back already? Holy cow, there you go. So time for the weekly real estate roundup. Joining us here is from William Raveis Mortgage, Melissa Cohn. Thank you, Melissa, once again for
We'll get it
coming.
right by the end of the season.
We'll get it right by the end of the season. And Dawn Watson from Serhant Realty.
Yes.
Thank you. And also Bridget, LeRoy's real estate agent, and you just sold her house.
Yes, correct.
How many days did you sell it?
We were on the market for like 2 days before we had an accepted offer.
Woohoo.
What took so long? Exactly. It was the first showing.
The first showing bought
and-
the house?
And then we got an offer from
How
the
come
second
that never
showing.
happens to me?
You know, I learned from some of the best at my old brokerage and your current brokerage about how to price, and
There you go. Aw.
Hamilton. Including you, of course.
Oh, thanks.
Yes,
But
yes,
I'm bum. So big news this week, Melissa, right? Our buddy Jerry Powell said,
He
had a
said that
press
time
conference.
has come, meaning that the Fed has finally acknowledged that it's time to start cutting rates and that the first rate cut will happen at the meeting next month in September.
When in September?
September 18th at 2 p.m. the announcement will get made. Now, the big question is, will it be a quarter point cut or will it be a half point cut? And I think that decision will happen based on what we get with the August jobs report that gets reported the Friday after Labor Day weekend, so not too far away.
Right.
And whatever the latest economic data is. But the bond market is cheering, mortgage rates are dropping now as a result of it, the stock market is cheering, so people are wealthier, have more money to go buy real estate. You know, all in all, it's great news and a great way for us to end the summer.
Yeah, I'm seeing an uptick already. Are you now with your
Oh,
business?
absolutely. And people are, is it time to, I'm thinking about buying again. Where are rates? How much can I afford today? Because
Right.
everyone we talked to over the course of the past year, if they're looking for financing, we're sort of sorely disappointed in what their dollar would buy in terms of mortgage amounts. But now as mortgage rates have dropped, I mean, we have plenty of rates that are available in the 5s now. It's a whole lot better than 7% that we had 7 months ago, so.
Holy cow, 7%.
It's crazy, isn't
it?
it?
It's crazy, and yet somehow the market didn't tank the way it got slow. It absolutely got slow, but it did not tank the way everyone thought it would.
No, it hasn't, and prices haven't tanked either.
No, prices are way up actually year to date from this time last year to this time now this year.
I see you did homework, Dawn, so tell us about some of your homework. Go ahead.
Well, so this is interesting. Luxury markets like the Hamptons lag a recession and lead a recovery. And we never really saw where everybody else, like last year was the worst year nationally for real estate, the number of transactions. This year is actually
Since 2008.
Since 2008, correct. But it was like since 40 years, I think, prior to 2008 where it
Right,
just
right.
really dumped. But
Well, 88
now,
also, we had a hit in 88 as
see,
well.
you've done your work too, of
Yeah.
course. But
Surrounded by such smart
yeah.
real estate people.
Yeah, well, isn't that nice?
Yeah, what do you mean, no,
Isn't that
sorry,
nice?
sorry.
But so nationally not so great, but here really great. And the average price, and this is going to be jaw dropping, the average price of a home in the Hamptons last year to the average price of a home this year, it's gone up almost $700,000.
Yeah.
So last year the average price was 2.545. Just a little over 2.5 million. This year, the average price of a home in the Hamptons is almost 3.2 million.
Well, I will tell you,
Crazy
part of
stuff.
that might be skewed by the simple fact that the higher end has really sort of, I've noticed that most of the sales have happened below 2 million or above the ultra high end above 10 million.
Correct.
So that could be why the numbers are skewed a little bit.
Well, the
So-
median price
but
is
I
still
was just
also
gonna
up,
say,
sorry, yeah, of
Go ahead.
course. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Of course, the median price is also up, and there
But
are
not by,
not a giant leap, not that
like
much.
that, no.
But there are also more homes that have been sold already at this point this year
Than
than
last
last year. It's like
year, yeah.
679 this year, 430 last year. So
Which is
we
great
are,
news.
yeah, we are, and I know, I have my 20th transaction closing that I'm scheduling now for this year.
That is fantastic,
Yes.
Dawn.
That's an amazing
Yeah.
year.
That's what a
Yeah.
great year
Thank
you're
you.
having.
Thank
That
you.
is so awesome. And very well deserving, because I know you work very hard.
Thank you so much,
You do.
as do you, obviously. And
Not
it's
as hard
important
as
to,
you.
well, for Pete's sake,
How many
you know
of
what,
your
you're
buyers
in
have mortgages?
luxury.
No.
Well, the last one I'm just getting ready to put into contract actually is an all-cash deal. I've had a couple of
So
all-cash
sorry to hear
deals.
that.
I'm so sorry. I've had a lot of all-cash deals and I've had a lot of bidding wars. So, but we are talking about anywhere up to about $4 million, so.
That's great, that's
Which is
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully as interest rates come down, more and more buyers will go back to taking financing.
I think so for sure. I mean, people, it was cheap to get money before.
That's why
and
everyone was
then-
doing it, yeah.
And then it got expensive, but not as expensive as it was in the 80s, obviously.
If someone wants to start thinking about getting financing, I mean, what do they need to do to get everything ready and all their ducks in a row?
Call me.
Other than call you, yeah. No, but don't
No.
take a new job, don't take a new loan.
Right,
like-
exactly. You know, basically make sure that all your payments are made on time, especially if you have a mortgage or a car loan. You know, a bank, if you have a late mortgage payment in the past 12 months, that can be an issue with regard to getting financing. Also, if you're going to be shopping for a mortgage or you're shopping for a new car, don't let everyone run your credit.
Right,
You know, go on Credit Karma or one of the other online sites, get your credit score, and when you're shopping around, say to someone, this is the score that I found, don't run my credit. Let me know what you can offer me based on the credit score I'm giving you, knowing that it could possibly change. Because the more people that run your credit, the more inquiries over a period of time can bring your credit scores down. The best mortgage rates are definitely available for the people that have credit scores over 720. Some of the best interest-only products want the credit score over 740.
right.
Make sure you save lots of money. Banks want to see that you have the down payment, your closing costs, and reserves. So if you're looking for a big mortgage, they're going to want to see that you have a fair amount of liquidity and reserves.
Right. And you know what? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going off on a tangent a little bit. A lot of people, they say, they see these ads online for these mortgage companies that are in the middle of, the Midwest. And it's always, every time I've ever had one of those deals where they did their financing from an online mortgage company, they have to be wary of these people, don't they?
Well, they should. I mean, first of all, oftentimes a regional bank will be the best opportunity in terms of rates. And we have a lot of local banks that offer super competitive rates. We also know that our local banks use local appraisers and that we're going to make sure that we're going to get fair value.
Right.
Appraisals are tough out here sometimes because there hasn't, even though there are more sales this year, there's not an abundance of, data points to
Right.
be able to provide, especially if someone's buying an investment property and you need to get information on rental income.
Right.
Because rentals are not publicly listed, so that's harder to get that information. And if you go to a company that's an online company or from out of the area, they don't really know who the local people are and who the best people are to deal with in a transaction.
They don't get the Hamptons, right?
They don't get the Hamptons.
Now, Dawn, what do you think's going to happen in the next few weeks? What are you feeling in the market?
I see a lot of energy. I mean, this is typically a time too where people are starting to make their moves. I think one of the things that was most interesting, not to pivot from that, but I think one of the things that was the most interesting for this year was our summer rentals kind of tanked. Right.
There were summer rentals this year?
Exactly. So, I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a couple that went, but even at the lower part of the market where normally stuff would get snapped up, it just didn't happen. And I do feel like, not that I'm prescient and not that I can make these, grand, insightful ideas about what's gonna happen, but I think if you own an investment property, you have to be able to understand that there's risk there and you might not be able to rent it out for the next 10 years because everything got absorbed from the pandemic.
Right.
And then we have this whole new class of people who are renting, and they're different than the people who rent every year for 20 years. So, and their renting styles are different.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway I've had from this year leaning forward into next. But I do think we are gonna be gang busters. If this is not a great year, yes, if this is not a great year nationally, I think this is gonna be, if this is our baseline,
And 2025 is gonna be the super
bananas.
year.
Yeah, bananas.
So hang on tight, people.
Yeah.
2025 and the end of 2024 are actually going to be pretty gangbusters.
Yeah.
One last question. You work with Ryan Serhant. What do you think of the new show?
It's really interesting.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix, yeah, and a lot of Hampton's people we've seen on, like in crowd shots. I've been there a couple of times when they've been filming. Hopefully we're picked up for another season and it could expand to the Hamptons or to Miami or to Charlotte or wherever. But 7 million new people, I think, joined on our social media sites.
Oh, that's pretty
it's
amazing.
Crazy
That's
town.
great.
We're getting all this. I just got a referral because of the show.
Oh, that's great.
So,
amazing.
yeah,
Well, congrats.
so thanks.
Melissa Cohn from,
William Raveis Mortgage,
and what's the website?
Raveis.com.
Rav, what's that?
HappyBirthday.com.
Happy birthday. No, her daughters. It's
Sarah's
Sarah's
birthday.
daughter. It's Sarah Alvarez's
happy birthday, Sarah.
Happy birthday, Sarah. Dawn Watson, Serhant Realty. You want to look at a couple open houses with me?
You betcha, baby.
All right. The first one we have is 100 DeForest Road. Now, in case you don't know what this is out in Montauk. This is actually a land lease property. That means you actually don't own the property. It's owned by the town. And it's off of Ditch Plains. They're condos, trailers actually. The one we're talking about is 100 DeForest Unit 319. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 100 bath. That'd be someone's got some digestive problems.
Well, there is an ocean out there, so I guess it could be a million baht.
And it's 600 square feet, and they're gonna have an open house on Sunday from 12:30 to 2 p.m. This house is right by the Ditch Plains, like public beach and access. Major surf stuff going. Isn't this great? We can just watch surfing video all day. And Montauk is really such a special place, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's just look. All right, let's go now to the next one. Ready? The next open house is on 9 Helens Lane, and it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on 0.3 of an acre, and they're having an open house on Saturday from 10:30 to 12. It's on the water in Southampton. So look, if you want to get water, Montauk, we have 2 water properties today. So how nice is it to be on the water? Canoeing, everything you possibly want. Anyway, take a look. And it's represented by Tom Cavallo from Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Anyway, hopefully we'll have good weather for the open houses this weekend. And behind the scenes, I'm sorry, I'm just reading things as they come to me. Karnak says, no, let's not go to the weather. Playing at where is it playing, Bill? At
Both Sag Harbor and.
Bill, just come here and say it. Come on.
No, it's.
Just come in. Why? Like, come on.
Hey,
All right, just give me the paper.
This woman sold her house.
We already said that.
Okay, well, that's exciting. I don't watch the show.
I don't watch the show when you're on it.
This is our second look at Blink Twice, and it's interesting because since we're talking about real estate, they went to a very famous hotel and pretended that it was Channing Tatum's house. Take a look.
We're going to my island for a few days. Do you guys want to come? This was one of the craziest scripts I've ever read.
The character really spoke to me. I knew this is something I needed to do.
It was very unique. I was on the edge of my seat.
I went through all sorts of emotions.
I think it's a stroke of genius. And Zoe Kravitz really did write it and direct it that way.
Action! I've always been a huge fan of the thriller horror genre. If you can get the audience on board with you, you can go to some really wild places.
Zoe's an incredible director. This is her first film, and to be able to create something that was that in-depth and had so many levels to it was extremely impressive.
She just had a lot of fearlessness. She's very talented and incredibly clever, and that's what the movie really feels like.
She had her eye on so many different details, from the script to the set to costumes and, of course, to characters.
Are you all right?
This movie touches on so many specific subjects that it's been really fun to play with.
This is a story about power and what we do with it.
Action! This film is a wild ride. I just hope that people go on this journey and then have great conversations with their friends after.
You're gonna watch it, and if you're gonna want to go watch it again, Zoe just nails it.
Cut. Awesome. Cut. Moving on. That's great.
Oh wait, Zoe?
Cut is something we hardly ever yell on this show.
Zoe Kravitz directed that? I didn't know that. Oh, where
No,
have I
very
been?
cool.
Yeah,
Very
it sounds
cool.
really
By the way,
amazing.
technically, I think we showed you the one about the hotel they shot at earlier in the show, and this was about just the making of the film in general. Channing Tatum is worth $500 million.
Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum.
Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum.
That sounds like his porn name,
Milk
Channing
McCuddy.
Tatum. I'm Channing Tatum.
We'll fix that in post.
He doesn't need a porn name.
Channing Tatum's worth $500 million.
$500 million?
You know why? The
No.
Magic Mike franchise that he did with Steven Soderbergh, they put up the $7 million and distributed it themselves. A
smart.
studio came in and helped them actually send it to the theaters. They made over $150 million, almost $167 million on that.
But he also has like
alone.
these little like Chippendales versions of the Magic Mike show. I was in London back in May, and they had the Magic Mike show there. Like
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he might be making a
I'm
franchise.
sure he's
thing.
got a part of that.
I actually
Absolutely.
loved the reboot of 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. I thought he was hilarious.
Yes, he's a very
really
gifted
good-
comedic actor.
Yes.
This is much darker, as you mentioned earlier, maybe in the more of the Jordan Peele kind of Get Out kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I do
And-
want to see this. It looks
No,
actually
no,
really
it's
fun.
getting
Look
it's
really good.
80%
Blink twice.
on Blink twice.
on Rotten
80% on Rotten
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
I haven't seen Alien Romulus yet, which I do want to see. We have a trailer, but we're not going to show it just now.
No, we can do that in a second, but I just want to tell you that on demand, we mentioned earlier, Fly Me to the Moon with
Great movie.
with Channing Tatum.
With Channing Tatum.
But also Long Legs, which is this creepy movie that came out about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, who's in that
Already
again?
on demand. It's Nobody's, but it's super scary.
Nobody's. They're not
Got
going to be
like-
very
No, there was
happy.
someone
I
in
think
it. There
that-
was
There are
someone
no
in it.
names. It's a cast of
I thought there was someone in Long Legs.
no.
But what
I'm
else is there?
aware of.
Well, Twisters is already on
Twisters is already in there.
On
Inside
demand.
Out 2 is already there. And Despicable Me 4, and I'm sorry, is playing in some local theaters right now. But if you've got a big screen at
So
home,
is Twisters.
it's on something called Premium Video on Demand, which just means it's $19 or $24 if it's a Disney.
Rather than,
If you're
but,
living out here, you can afford that. That's like a French fry.
yeah, Twisters is still playing at Sag Harbor Cinema and in East Hampton.
Yeah. And that's where you should see it.
Of
I want to
course.
see it on the big
Something
screen.
on the big
I want to see
screen.
it on the
So
big screen.
tell us about some of the movies that are actually going to be in the theaters. We've got Alien Romulus. You said Deadpool and Wolverine still raking it in,
Right.
right? And this is all in East Hampton. And
So
it
Aliens
ends with
made about
us.
$100 million. I'm sorry, about $150 million so far worldwide.
I thought you were going to say, I'm sorry, I mean $100.
But it ends
No.
with Us, the Blake Lively thing that is
Yes.
getting so much bad press for her behavior on the set. And why they decided to hate on her doesn't seem to matter because that opened with $50 million, was supposed to open 10 to 20 million and
Yeah.
tripled that expectation. And now globally has just crossed $200 million.
It just goes to
So
show there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Oh,
ends
I
with
can,
us.
we're not talking politics anyway.
No.
It-
But then with
did anybody watch the Democratic Convention?
I did.
I just saw like the best of. You know, I get all my news from Jon Stewart, John Oliver, and Seth Meyers. That's it. I watch it all the next day.
Well, I'm not going to pick a side here, but I will say Trump said that the audiences were faked. That when you looked at the Democratic convention and they panned out to the audience,
Donald.
those were fake crowds.
Sure, of course, everything's fake, except his tan. So, Sag Harbor Cinema, How to Come Alive with Norman Mailer.
Yeah, that's supposed to be excellent. A really good friend of mine, I have not seen this, but a really good friend of mine said it is the definitive work about Norman Mailer and about a lot of talking heads, but people who grew up with him and were writers with him and either admired or hated him, and they're all there. We mentioned the Blake Edwards thing, but
Yeah,
we didn't
Blake-
call it the right thing. It's
Blake Edwards, A Love Story in 24 Frames, and this is a documentary about the great director, Blake Edwards, best known for Pink Panther, but then in later years, S.O.B.,
Shot in the
10.
Dark, Victoria.
Well, Shot in the Dark is the first of the Pink
Right,
Panther
of the
movies,
Pink
so I
Panthers.
already said that. But
And
Victor
10.
Victoria,
And
10, I
10.
said
And
10.
10. Yeah.
These men don't listen to me. But yes, 10, I know, it's
That's
great.
one of my
This
favorite
week.
movies.
It's so cute.
Thanks. And Julie Andrews and Emma Walton Hamilton will be there tonight.
One of the
I don't know
nights,
how
yeah.
I read this, but I think it came up in Yahoo News that apparently Blake Edwards did The Great Race.
Yes.
Yeah, with Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis. and Vivian Vance was in that movie.
Really? Vivian?
Oh,
Like,
that
who
was
remembers?
Yeah, I see why you're going like that. She listen. They had stunt casting. They had tons of people in those things.
Right.
Think about it's
He
a
did-
It's a mad
World. But you know, he did some amazing movies, because didn't he do The Apartment with Peter Sellers, where Peter Sellers played like a Indian guy? No,
Billy Wilder did that.
he did another one. Oh, I know what he did. Days of Wine and Roses. That was Blake.
Oh yes, Blake
Yeah.
Edwards did
That
Days
is
of
true.
Wine and
They're
Roses.
all around that same year. Yeah, he did.
He
a
also
bunch
did
of
a
really
very
interesting movies.
realistic movie called The Party, right?
That's what I'm thinking of, not The Apartment,
in
of
Malibu.
course. That's
Yeah.
Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon is The Apartment. I meant The Party. That's the
But
with
one of
Peter Sellers.
his Go and Rent, one of the least talked about, and it's not because your aunt. Well, what is Julie?
Nothing. She's my stepfather's
Okay, so-
ex-wife.
She takes her top off, but it's called SOB,
That
and
was
it's
SOB.
all
I
about.
also
just said
mentioned that. I
it's
mentioned
all-
that.
You did? You mentioned
Yeah, you did
SOB?
mention
I
that.
said SOB and 10 were the movies I
That was a
mentioned.
big deal back in the
Thanks,
day.
Marty.
Yeah,
Yes,
SOB
it
is
was. It was a
huge.
very big deal. And they had a long marriage, and also the movie That's Life, which is never talked about.
Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon, but it's a biopic. It's an auto biopic with my sister Emma in it, playing Julie's daughter, and her boyfriend at the time. I think Rob Knepper plays her boyfriend, and her little dog Chutney was in it, and Chris Lemmon played her brother, Jack Lemmon's son.
Sure, I
and
know
it's actually
Chris.
pretty
Wow.
amazing and pretty fun. Yeah. So that was their. That
So
was
this
their
is at the
novel.
Sag Harbor Cinema.
Yeah.
And then Julie's going to speak after. Is it Sunday?
No, I think today.
Oh, it's tonight.
Then
Friday.
he
Tonight,
also,
yes.
yeah, but the movie's running all
Yes, it
weekend.
is.
Then
Okay.
he
She's
also
tonight.
did a great movie called That's Life.
I hate you so much.
All right. What is your favorite?
Okay.
By the way, the Pink Panther. Come on.
They're best.
I
know,
think
I love
the one with Diane Cannon was my favorite. Remember that one?
Yeah, I mean,
That was the one. Does your dog bite?
Yeah, that is not
My dog.
Yes, of course. I love all the.
well, there's a great line in SOB where the doctor who gives the vitamin B shots to
Yeah.
everybody is accused of being, what's a lawyer? A shyster. And he goes, I'm not a shyster. A shyster is a lawyer. I, sir, am a quack.
That's great. I know, it's great.
Really, Robert
Really, really
Vaughn's
fun.
in that, like all
Yeah.
the great folks.
Everybody.
Hey, we mentioned Romulus, and that is playing, and it will probably be the #1 movie this weekend. So take a look at the trailer for Ridley Scott produced, not directed, Alien Romulus.
Are you sure you want to do this?
There she is.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Romulus Space Station.
This place gives me the creeps.
What the hell is this?
I don't know.
The fuck was that? Young?
Stop playing around, man. Just get out.
I'm not playing around. There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
I don't
water?
know. There's just something in the fucking water.
Run.
Are you all right?
Navarro! Navarro! I don't know what to do.
Whatever comes,
We'll face it together.
Let's go.
Impact event in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you wait for that to come to your home, in your basement, no one can hear you scream.
That was the best tagline in space. In space, no one can hear you scream. I have to tell you something. I was at a party about a year before this came out, and John Hurt was sitting in the corner, kind of smoking a cigarette, and I kind of crept over to him, and I said, "Oh, Mr. Hurt, I loved you in Midnight Express. I thought you were absolutely brilliant. I mean, what do you have? And your voice in Watership Down or whatever." I said, "Just brilliant." And he said, "Wait till you see the next one, darling. It's pretty nasty."
Oh, did he say that?
Oh, that's
yes.
awesome.
It was so much. I was just like meeting one of my heroes.
I remember seeing that in the theater. This is 1979. I was like 7 or 5 or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Me too.
but just that scene alone was just it traumatized you. By the way, we were going to talk about Jaws.
Well, wait a minute. I just want to say I saw it the same time you did, but I saw it alone in a theater. I went to the first showing in Hilton Head Island. It was like 50 degrees in there, so I was chattering anyway. And I'm alone.
You didn't have anyone to grab
the
onto.
original Alien starts, and I was not prepared for the dripping stuff that comes off that thing, and then the popping out, and the little kitty, and blah, 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 blah. It was bone-chillingly scary.
Okay, I'm sorry, this is not trying to play Can You Top This, but Gloria Vanderbilt
Why stop now?
took me to...
Do we have that
Gloria
Where's
Vanderbilt?
my name drop jar? I went with Gloria Vanderbilt, who took me and her sons, Carter and Anderson. Her son was my friend, and we went to the opening, and it was at I think it was at the Winter Garden Theater, which didn't have cats in it yet. And I just remember we were in the first row of the balcony, and when that thing leapt out of the egg and went onto his face, the whole first floor jumped at the same time. I've never seen anything like it. They all went boom, like that.
On a tangent, Cats is back on Broadway, you know that.
Cats is back.
But it's not happening this weekend in the Hamptons. This is Weekend Live.
If you're
and
a childless cat lady, you might want to go see
I want to mention that Rum Punch Mafia is going to be at Wolfer on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Dream is the annual Greek Orthodox Church dinner. They do it every year to benefit the Ronald McDonald House, East End Fund, and something called Reach Within. That's Saturday at 8.
Oh, and Sunday, Winston Irie, who's a local favorite, is going to be at the Clubhouse. Mama, I love you. He's going to be singing, and that's a nice, cool.
And Joy Behar.
Joy Behar has a
Monday.
play, well, a series of monologues, Susie Essman and also the great Tova Feldshuh, just amongst the cast. That's Monday night as you're watching this, and that's at the Sag Harbor Theater. It benefits them. In the meantime, I want to thank Tom Kelly, who sat in for me last week. He always sends a great, funny video that somehow Patrick seems to
I seem to have tagged on.
Patrick and Tom Kelly have gone viral, so are we?
Yeah, there's like 150,000 people that have seen this.
It's insane.
They go for a drive. That's all I'm going to tell you. Take a look.
That's just a regular person in the Hamptons who has cheap cell phone service who spent $500 putting a booster on their car, and now they look like the Google Earth truck.
That is so fun. That's what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, these people must be working for Google Earth.
It was profiled in the New York Times. Is that really a problem, though?
Yeah, right here. Look how many bars. Well, actually, that's high.
Okay.
It's one here.
So what happens is now you've spent $12 million for a house, you've spent $100,000 for a car, and you look like an Uber driver.
It's very funny.
Yes, you do. And you look like the Uber driver driving here.
I was driving. I'm like Tom's chauffeur whenever he comes out here. But I thought it was a Google Earth thing. And I control room, what did you guys think it was, those things?
Google Earth.
Yeah, they said everything was a Google Earth thing.
Yeah.
Listen, that's our show. We'll be back for our big Labor Day weekend next weekend.
Oh,
we hope you went to some of these tag sales. We didn't get to them, but if we see you
go
there.
Go to a tag sale, everyone.
Yes. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.